World.
Are you a small business owner in Seattle who was impacted by COVID-19? The Seattle Office of Economic Development is investing $8 million to connect small businesses to operating capital. The Small Business Capital Access Program will lower the cost of Washington State Small Business Flex Fund loans by paying down 25% of the loan principal. Eligible small businesses can borrow up to $150,000 with a 4% interest rate to cover expenses like payroll, rent, utilities, and supplies.
Rainier Avenue Radio presents All Music, All Day Saturday. Music, all day Saturday.
This is Edwin Bailey, Bulldog Blue.
Jazz from the Cabinets.
That's right. It's time once again for Jazz from the Cabinets with Big Poppy.
Start time.
Thanks for tuning in. My name is Paul Pierce. This is Start Time.
Saturdays, all music, all day. Reggae hour. K-Fox Night.
Looking for the perfect beat? Yeah, it's the beat of the Fox.
Fresh Juice with D-Money and
Myself to the money.
Nice Ice Patron.
Taylor Hart.
This is Spencia, the Northwest Rap Game.
DJ Medina, Chad Cheddar, Northwest Rat Game.
Sergio Lacour's Love Line.
It's Sergio's Love Lines with Sergio LaCour. Go to the phone line. Tell them who we talking.
Sea Monster Radio. Mo Jams is your jam.
We're live. Welcome to Mojo Mondays. This is KZ of KZ Music Media. Caller Goddess for Mojo Mondays.
Just my opinion. God is inspiration. Music all day and all night. Saturdays on Rainier Avenue Radio App.
This is Big Poppy, host of Jazz from the Cabinets. Join me each week for a listening tour of the first century of jazz, an eclectic mix of Dixieland, big band, cool jazz, bebop, contemporary jazz, world jazz, in all forms. That's Jazz from the Cabinets with Big Poppy on Rainier Avenue Radio, streaming worldwide on RainierAvenueRadio.world.
Struggling to pay your mortgage? If COVID-19 hurt your income, health, or family, you may be eligible for homeowner assistance funds from the government. Call 1-877-894-4663 now, or visit WashingtonHalf.org. That's WashingtonHAF.org. Because falling on hard times does not have to mean losing your home.
This is Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Every time you play so smooth, makes me wanna groove. The trees let's groove. Every time you play so smooth.
We're live every Friday at 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on www.RainierAvenueRadio.world, your community radio station. You can also listen to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch TV, Twitter, and of course, on the Rainier Avenue Radio app. We feature interviews with people that provide services or have valuable information for seniors, their families, and the community. Do you need financial documents notarized? Are you a senior that needs documents read to you for clarity or completion? Call me, Brenda, at Black Orchid Notary, 206-683-2636. Tell me where, I'll meet you there. Well, my guest today is John Yasutake. He's one of my fellow radio lights, and he is the host of that award-winning show, Seattle Here and Now, on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. We'll be talking about his latest collaboration that will affect the Columbia City community and beyond. John is very community-oriented, and here are some of his activities. He serves as a board member on the Central District Community Preservation Development Authority. Oh, John, you picked the long words. Overseeing the Reverend Samuel B. McKinney Center for Community and Economic Development, which is the old SOIC building. He serves on the board of the Seattle-King County chapter of the Organization of Chinese Americans. He serves as a longstanding member of the MLK Planning Coalition, organizers of the annual MLK Day event in March. And John most recently became a committee member of the Washington State Hate Crimes Coalition to address the rise in hate crimes here in Washington State. John Yasutake, welcome to the show, and thank you for your service.
Well, thank you very much. Gosh, I didn't know I was involved in so much stuff until you started reading that. I mean, people say,
I know, it's
"Gee,
like, how do you have time to do a show?
exactly, exactly." Well, thank you very much for inviting me because we are really excited. Mainly because number one, we are now back home in the Columbia City area.
Yes.
We are
Yeah.
in the Columbia City Theater. That is us. That will be us. That is us. And you also broadcast live out of there too. So I haven't been able to set myself up to. I have so much stuff in here in my office, but and thank you, Daniel. You do a great job of teching and producing this our programs. But yes, we are yeah, thank you. We are really excited because we are going to be bringing
Yeah, but
soon.
wait, don't
Brenda,
don't don't go into that yet, because I
okay,
want my audience to know a little bit about your award-winning show, Seattle Here and Now, but make it brief.
yeah, okay. Well, it's the brainchild of myself. Seattle here and now. Every Thursday, I try to pick subjects, and let me be honest, folks. This is a disclosure. I gave myself an award so I can call myself an award-winning show. So let's be honest. But I've had people like Doug Baldwin. I had the former chief of police, Carmen Best. I've had our new mayor, Bruce Harrell, on. I've had people, also people from the community. I've had Theo
Mhm.
over from Island Soul. He's been on. I've had people from the community. I also do shows on domestic violence this month. Well, actually, beginning September 15th to October 15th is Hispanic, Latinx, Latino, Latinx Heritage Month, as well as, again, October will be the kickoff for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And so I do a number of things that I think are important to the community, and I really appreciate the fact that I get the support from our director Tony B, and our illustrious assistant director and I guess you could say news director Daniel Bellis. So it's like I said, and we've been doing this a few years, and we've
Yes.
yeah, you've been here a few years, I've been here a few years, but you have a great show. I've tuned in a couple, actually not more than a couple of times, because one of the areas that has many issues, but not really broadcast are issues involving seniors. And this country is a very youth-oriented country, as opposed to other countries around the world. In different cultures, in different, like I said, different peoples. Age is very important. Age is wisdom. Age is knowledge.
Definitely.
Age is ancestry, legacy, all of that. Oh, right here behind me is the National Hispanic Heritage. It took me a little while to figure out how to get this stuff on the screen with the green screen and everything. But hey, I'm learning new technology. Us old guys, us old folks. We once we get it, we get it. But it may take a little while for us to learn how to push all the buttons and all that. But again, I really appreciate your show because again, we live in such a youth culture oriented nation. That's part of our psyche. We have, like I said, uh, a lot of debt to pay to our seniors, those individuals who have paved the way for all of us and made sacrifices and done things. And now, as the golden years, they need, as much and or more support and access to all things. Uh, we know that a lot of seniors don't even use technology,
That's true.
and it's very difficult um, for them to understand it, let alone use it. And yet, and still, it is the way we communicate now. That's one of the major forms, like this program going online, where you and you share information. You did information about fraud and information about all those kinds of things, those negative things, but also things of programs to assist seniors. Also issues involving, and let's face it, we're all going to be at that point end of life issues, those kinds of things. How to get your business in order. So I really appreciate and kudos to you for what you do.
Well,
Like I said, yeah, you look around, there aren't any shows like yours, Brenda. There aren't really. So you should. Maybe if I gave you an award, you could say you have an award-winning show. I don't know if that'll work, but
oh, I love it. I love it. John, you, ladies and gentlemen of the audience, I want you to know that I've known John for a very long time, and I knew him before I got involved with the radio shows. And so he is a comedian in his heart.
yeah, I think
So,
so.
John, how do you find people to interview?
Why, believe it or not, I think of something that's more, contemporary. Like I was able to get one show I did on domestic violence. I had a discussion with somebody. We were talking, and I said I want to, do a show on domestic violence, but more personal. Somebody who works in that area, counselor, etc. And the person said to me, hold it. I know somebody who is actually a victim of
Mhm.
domestic violence.
That's pretty
Oh,
personal.
yes. And I said, oh my gosh, would she be willing to talk? And to make a long story short, I was able to contact the person, talk to them, uh, ask them if they'd be willing to come on to the show and talk. In that show, I mean, we had, a couple of boxes of tissues, and people were grabbing them, and because she told the story of it being a victim of domestic violence, how she thought she had been in love with this guy, and I'll just share with the audience, she got stabbed 14 times by this guy,
Whoa.
and he, fortunately, this knucklehead drove her to the parking lot at Harborview, the emergency side of Harborview Medical Center, and kicked her out of the car, pushed her out of the car, and drives off. She's hanging on by a thin thread. They were able to get his license, but they were able to save her. But she talked about it, and I how can you stab somebody or harm somebody that you say you love, or how can you being victimized by somebody you thought you loved? I mean, and that's domestic violence. There are other forms of violence, but domestic violence is the one we have a problem. We have an epidemic of domestic violence in this country, which they
Yes,
predicted
we
would
do.
happen. Yeah, because of the lockdown, because of COVID, and so that
Right.
that
And
was yeah,
if you have an abuser and you're in COVID,
yeah,
you're stuck with them.
that's right. You're in lockdown with them. So anyway, so that was a very heavy subject. Some of the other things that I've been able to reach. Well, yeah, I've had you. You talk about your work in the community as a senior. We did that show, and we talked about violence against seniors, domestic violence, and that's a real hush hush subject.
Yes.
So little, and yet we know this occurs. You also talked again about your service to the community when you were on the mayor's committee or commission for
Mayor's
seniors.
Council, African American
Council, yeah,
Elders.
yep, and also the work you do with the church at Mount Zion, and it, and I will try to make it one day. I got to reunify my connection as I get
John,
older. Yes.
don't say anything that you can't keep.
Oh well, I will say maybe in the near future
Okay.
I'll be visible there.
Okay.
You'll
It's
see me. But anyway, so
yes,
but like
that's
I
okay.
said, yeah, I have an idea of a subject and then I follow up on it. I'm going to be hosting, not hosting, but somebody from the mayor's office committee on women's commission is going to talk about domestic violence. But I'm also inviting Estela Ortega and Miguel Maes to come and talk about the work of El Centro de la Raza. They're celebrating their 50th anniversary.
Oh,
Just like
fantastic.
Langston Hughes, yeah, Cultural Arts Center just celebrated 50 years. National Hispanic Heritage Month. man, it just fits. They'll be coming on. I have a young man who's of Latinx, Latino, Latinx, Hispanic heritage. I want to get it right because there's all these terms.
Right.
Who grew up here in Seattle, but he went back east to go to school. Talk about his growing up, being Latinx, Latino, Hispanic, growing up in America, and what the trials and tribulations of that means, because it's even though they're the largest population of non-whites in this country, the two major languages that aren't English spoken in this country are Chinese is one, but the other one is Spanish, of course. So that it's important. And then I'm going
So,
to be
John,
closing. Yeah, go ahead.
and you're going to do what?
And I'm going to be closing out, uh, like I said, with Miguel and Estella. But
Oh, okay.
and then I thought about it, and I said, and this makes I said, well, there's this new Tex-Mex kind of restaurant. Tex-Mex being the combination of Texas and influence of Texas and Mexican
Mm-hmm.
restaurant that's in Columbia City, and it's brand new, called Jackalope. And I said, well, we're gonna check it out. And my illustrious wife, Phyllis, who had celebrated her 74th birthday yesterday. I say I married a much older woman, but no, I'm just kidding. Uh,
John,
but
and did she tell
anyways,
you that you could tell her age? Did you ask her? I don't think so.
oh,
So we'll
oh
talk after
no,
the
but
show.
yeah, but they can add it
Ah,
up if you figure out. Okay, I'm not gonna. I won't say. Okay,
John.
I apologize. Hey, nevertheless, we went to the restaurant, and this is pretty neat. The owners also own this Jack's Barbecue right on Airport Way,
Is he
and
really?
so I kind of, yeah, yeah,
I went
that
there
barbecue place.
many years ago.
Yeah,
Yes,
Airport Way.
okay.
Right.
Yeah, I know where it
And
is.
yeah, because you saw the menu. When I looked at menu, oh, it has my favorite brisket, smoked
Mhm.
brisket, barbecue, etc. Anyways, again, as they say, to make a long story short, here's this new restaurant that took over for our lovable restaurant, El Sombrero. Love those
Yes.
folks, Raquel, Maria, etc. Um, and like I said, gee, we're gonna miss that. Well, we went there to Jackalope, and we said, wow, we were pleasantly surprised. So I said, you know what? I would love to do something to highlight them as a newcomer, but not only as a newcomer, but one of the businesses in our Columbia City, since we are now officially back in Columbia City. Rainier Avenue Radio World is now officially, physically back in Columbia City. And I got to thinking, and I said, well, I don't like to talk much. So I said, who would be somebody that could really take the mantle and verbalize and just, as they say, run her mouth for at least 30 minutes. And I couldn't think of anybody but Brenda Charles Edwards, the host of Seniors Matter. And there you are. So that's how you got involved. And I said, this is great.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we talked, and we developed, kind of like a mission statement, an objective, and a program format. And and you want to give them the name of the show, this new show coming up?
I would love to. It's called What's Cooking in Columbia City.
Yeah, what's
And
cooking?
we will be debuting on Tuesday, October 11th at 9:30 p.m. So please come check us out and hear what tantalizing info we have for you.
Yeah, well, take a nap if it's too late for you, old folks. I mean, take a nap and get up 9:30. But hey, thank you very much, Dan and Tony, for uh, hey giving us the thumbs up and finding a time slot, because we are
Yes.
crowded with Metro football now, and Metro basketball be coming in a couple of months, and all the shows. We've got as they say, a plethora
Mm.
of shows and programs for us. And it's great. And Seniors Matter is one. My show, Seattle, but we've got Lid Line Sports. All these shows are coming back from the hiatus. So it's really it's really. I really feel it's going to be a great show. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now we feel honored. I feel honored, bro, and I know you feel honored that we got a chance to say we have a great show. We think new show, what's cooking in Columbia City, and it's not just about. And we mentioned the restaurants, but we new businesses, older existing businesses,
Right.
what they've been up to. Like I mentioned to Brenda yesterday, we've got a number of areas, a number of businesses that we can. I mean, we have everything, as they say in Columbia City, everything from soup to nuts out there. If you want a bike, if you want to buy, flower arrangements, if you want to get, of course, great food, if you want to get financing for, we have a loan,
Mm.
savings and loan company there,
Insurance.
insurance. We've got a locksmith there. At least he was there, I think. Yeah, and then
I
now,
have them still there.
yeah, then we got
Don't
a.
forget, John, don't forget Hillman City.
Yes, and in Hillman City, it's right on the edge. So we're going to include Hillman City, and we've got, like I said, great restaurants there. We've got a all venue club. We also have the historic Esquire Club.
Yes, very.
We're gonna, yeah, and we are gonna hit them up because again, there's history right there. And if those of you out there who don't not understand, but know the history and the reason why we have an Esquire Club that basically is African American centered, understand what segregation. Seattle was segregated. Seattle had restrictive covenants, barring the having African Americans as either land owners and or tenants, and it's really interesting. There's history there. So, and again, we've got other businesses, mom and pops. We got some new and up and coming places, and you were able to research and saw a couple of actually award-winning highlighted businesses, which we, if you want to mention, that's up to you. But we think it's going to be a great show. It'll be of interest to everybody. And, again, the theme is also the fact that Columbia City is one of the most diverse communities in this country, not just in Washington State, but it's considered based on the census tracts. It embraces one of the most diverse communities based on culture and language. I mean, I thought I saw something about dozens of languages. We got, like I said, Vietnamese, essential languages, Asian, yeah, all these things. So it's a great, I think, opportunity, and I'm going to enjoy working with you. Your name, I'll allow you to be,
Here we go.
First named on as the host. It'll be Brenda Charles Edwards and John Yasutake, hosts. I'll let you go.
Oh,
Skip top billing, except if we do it in lettering size, your font will always be smaller than mine. But no, I'm just kidding. No,
he's not.
Yeah.
My dear audience, he's not kidding.
Oh,
But that's okay, because it's not the quantity or the size, it's the quality.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. No, okay. All kidding aside, I'm excited. We're gonna be doing like a kickoff show, 9:30 live, and it's live.
Yes.
On Tuesday, October 11th. So stay tuned, folks. Like I said, we are going to be busy at inviting people and making contacts with, again, those businesses. And like I said, what in this world makes better sense than to embrace the people that live in your community, or part of your community? Again, small businesses, all these businesses, especially businesses, hire 80% of this country works for small business. Those that don't work for public entities, for government, the majority of the people who work in this country work for small business, and we believe in supporting. We are nonprofit. We are not a profit-making organization. We're largely volunteer, but we got to give kudos to those, especially those businesses in Columbia City who were able to make it through this COVID experience. It was daunting, So like I said, I really appreciate the fact that I get to work with you, and
Likewise.
equal billing, and equal say, and we are going to be co-hosts. And like I said, I'm excited to get going on this. And well, we will see what we will see on October 11th. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want mystery in your life, if you want uncertainty in your life, tune in at 9:30 on Tuesday, October 11th for What's Cooking in Columbia City. Anyway, there you
One
go.
of the things too, I think that our audience will realize is that Columbia City may appear to be small, but it has a lot going on. I know some folks that just moved up here from California, and they moved to Columbia City, and it's a thriving little community,
Yep.
and like I said, we're including Hillman City in this too because they have ice cream that is yummy, 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 as
Yep.
well as some other delicacies. So,
Yep.
John, we only have a few minutes left, but I know that you are also on the broadcast team at Rainier Avenue Radio.world for the Metro League High School football games. Would you
Yep.
tell us who you're covering this weekend, please?
Well, of course, we will be covering Rainier Beach High School, who
Yay.
will be playing against Roosevelt. Roosevelt. They got waxed by Garfield a few weeks ago,
Yes, they did.
56-0 or something like that.
Mhm.
And Rainier Beach is, I think, number 8. Yeah, they are rated number 8 in the state. They are a very, very talented group of young men out of the southeast section, just up the street from us. Great event. It's going to be a wonderful show. Tune in tonight at 5:00 p.m. And these are live broadcasts. So what you see and what you hear, ladies and gentlemen, is live. There is no videotape replay, and there is no on-air censorship. I learned that last year
Oh,
when we were covering the state. We were covering the state championship. I inadvertently made a comment about a misplay between Bellevue High School and Kennewick High School in the 3A state championship. We broadcast state championships statewide, and I mentioned.
don't repeat it, John. It got you in
Well,
trouble.
yeah, but it also talked about just a part of the anatomy. I won't mention it anyway. So then the second game is 7:45. Is number 2 Garfield High School against Ballard High School.
Why
In
doesn't
Times
Ballard have a
Square.
ranking?
They don't have a ranking because they're 1-3. You
Oh,
know, so
okay.
Garfield is undefeated, and
Okay.
Garfield Garfield just a few weeks ago beat Lake Stevens, which was the number 1 4A high school team in the state. So Garfield is very talented. They got a lot of weapons, and it's going to be a good game, and that'll be on at 7:45 tonight, live from Memorial Stadium, Metro League High School 3A football. So anyway, so that'll be great.
All
And since I went
right.
to Garfield,
Yes, I know.
since I went to
Yeah.
Garfield High School, I will try to be unbiased. But your alma mater, we haven't covered them recently, right? You
John, we're
right?
running out of time. I just like to thank you for coming on the show. I want to thank my listening audience. And a special thank you to the songstress Patrice Isley, who's letting me use her music now. And at this point, I'm going to say, have a great weekend. Be safe, drive carefully, and live your life like it's golden. Up next is the coronavirus update. Thank you. Bye, you guys. Bye, John. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.